what's up, it's Mila and I'm back with some best friends than ever. I think tomorrow is going to be the last episode of this week of premieres, and this episode wasn't spooky either, and I'm like, where's Daisy? Where's when they go back to the medieval times? Where's the spookiness? It's Monstober. Where's the spooky? But there's no spooky in this episode other than like them getting into another fight, which I guess is spooky. Not really, but yeah. So on this episode, Sid and Shelby got a job. And they need money. Well, Shelby need money. Sid really didn't care. But Shelby need money. You know, they get a job. And Barry, not only was actually going through some deep stuff. Barry got it like an F. And he was failing. He thought it was a failure. But just because he was failing in poetry. But it's like, if you're not good at one thing, doesn't mean you're not good at the other stuff that you are good at. So you know what? Don't let it get you down, guys. Positivity. This is a P. Positivity. P with positivity. So yeah, on to the recap. So it started off with Sid made a big bowl of cereal. So then Shelby was like, what are you doing? And she was like, I'm making cereal milk. And I was like, she strained the cereal into the milk and then threw all the cereal in the garbage. That's disgusting. So then she's like, look, I got my permit. So she's like, well, what am I supposed to standing here eating cereal milk for? Let's go drive. She's like, no, I got my work permit. She's like, trade skis is her passion. But her main investors refusing to give her an allowance, so she needed a job to get some more money. Sid was like, look, I don't have a work permit. I can't come work for you. And Shelby was like, I got you something. And she's like, oh, what? And she's like, you gotta see it. She's like, I don't want to see it. She's like, it's a work permit. So she got Sid a work permit too. So they both got work permits so they can go work out. So she's like, look, they went to the mall. They said always dress for the job you want. So she was like, look, I dressed up for this job. She's like, look, I dressed for the corner office. My office said the corner office, but it also said hand wash only, but I don't care. Sid was like, my outfit says I'm here to support my friend, and I was promised to go to the food court later. So they went to the makeup store, and Shelby was like, oh, look, I can be a makeup person, you know, in here. So she's like, oh my gosh, Shelby, you could be the girls that be like, if you're going to come in here, they come in here and buy something or leave. So she's like, that could be you. So then she got turned down from there. And then she got turned down from this vest store. And then she got turned down from some other places, and it wasn't really working too well for her until they stopped at this place. They started this free fudge. It's like, you want some free fudge? So then it's like, you like it? So then the sale was like, is that hazelnut caramel and toasted sesame? So then it was like, oh my god, you like a young Don Barnwell. So then Shelby was like, who's that? And she was like, oh, just the Fudge King of New Hampshire. You're embarrassing me, Shelby. That's what Sid was like. So then Jordan was like, look, I'm the new owner of FUDGTASTIC. You want to, like, you know, get a job? So Sid turned down a job, but she wanted Shelby to get a job. She's like, look, I had a lemonade stand and it did not work. So she's like, the guy told her, I will hire Shelby if you come too. So she's like, okay. Shelby was like, please. So they end up doing it. Welcome to FUDGTASTIC. Meanwhile, Barry came in, he fell down, and it's like, something's terrible. So Nada was like, you fell on the remote? And he was like, yeah. But he was like, look, I fell in poetry class. My teacher said I'm alarmingly cynical for my age and I'm lacking in emotion. He was like, what? I thought she was charmingly cynical for your age. Alarmingly charmingly cynical for your age. But yeah. So he got bad poetry. So Nada was like, it said, in his book, it said roses are red, but actually they're every color. You can look at the wavelength. Fact. It's like, oh god, Barry. So he's like, this is gonna mess up his GPA. It's not gonna be good. So that really wasn't really gonna work out very well, because after that, Barry was watching some soap operas. Oh my god, soap operas. He was just sitting there watching. He was like, well, my, you know, life is already down in the dumps anyway. I might as well just lack right now. So Nana was like, no, you can't do that. He's like, look, I got some good news. I talked to your teacher, and she didn't let you redo it as long as you go to his poetry reading. He's like, well, on one hand, I feel like you invaded my privacy, but on the other hand, I feel like I deserve this, and it's the price that I pay because I am like a degenerate now. So yeah, so he was like, look, we're gonna get to help you. Nada was like, look, I know about poetry because I got published in his literary journals. I got published in his literary journals article. He was in the magazine, the front cover magazine. He's like, this goatee is fake, but not to talk about masculinity, post-feminism. It was like a lot of stuff, man. He was in a, they didn't even know be doing some stuff. They don't even be knowing. Yeah. Meanwhile, Jordan was like, look, working here ain't easy. So Sid was like, seems like it's easy to me. She was amazing at it. Flipping and dipping them chocolates and whipping with all them strawberries. So Jordan was like, look, I hate to follow that. Shelby, you up. So Shelby, she was having a real hard time. So he's like, look, that's gone. It's never come back. She dropped the freaking strawberry in that thing. But then Sid ended up getting out. So it was really weird. But she was better than it at Shelby. So then look, he was like, oh my gosh, she's the freaking fudge whisperer. Sid's the fudge whisperer. So then Jordan was like, holy cacao, what's wrong with you? Shelby, you're not doing too good. But then Sid made a freaking solar system in Fudge. She was like, look, this is amazing. That's Neptupiter in Australia. That's not a planet. And then Shelby was like, I'm the one who told her Neptupiter was a freaking planet. I'm like, what? But anyway, Meanwhile, Sid was having a real old good old blast. She was like, I didn't see things going like it did. It doesn't fit. And then, you know, Sid was like, it doesn't really feel like work. So she's like, well, we out of kill, which doesn't really seem like a problem, but people like it for some reason. So this lady came up to her and was like, oh, you work here? She's like, yeah, you want me to make you something? So she couldn't even get open the marshmallows container. It was too much. And then the marshmallows ended up plopping everywhere, hitting the lady in the face. So she's like, do I need an excuse to leave, or can I just walk away? She's like, Sid was like, just go, just leave. Just leave. She spilled all the marshmallows everywhere. Even though it was like only like 7 in that thing, it was still all over the floor and they needed some more. Yeah. Meanwhile, Nana's like, look, Barry, you gotta be in touch with your emotions to write poetry. And Mary's like, well, I'm feeling warm and itchy. He's like, look, that's not an emotion. The tube connected to your brain of the feelings maker is not working. He's like, I don't know much about the human anatomy. Then Barry was like, you right, Nana, you don't know much about the human anatomy. But he didn't get him in touch with his emotions. So the first emotion was joy. He had a whole bunch of kittens, all of it was so sweet, so sweet, so sweet. Barry was like, look, I feel like I'm somebody's litter box right now. But then Nato tried it, and Nato was having a ball. It was just so much amazing, so amazing. And then the next emotion was like, you know, crying, feeling sentimental. It was a dog. A dog traveled 8,000 miles to be with his boy. And then Nato was freaking crying. He could not breathe. And Barry was like, who liked this sentimental sap type stuff? So it wasn't too good for him. You know, he really didn't like that either. Then it was freaking fairy burbs, which is bubbles, but not called fairy burbs. He was like, oh my god, you gotta pop him, you gotta pop him. Barry ended up popping it and ended up popping in his eye, and he made a great poem. It was really angry and it rhymed. It was really good. So Nana was like, that's it, you gotta stay mad. So he started flicking him in the ear to keep him mad and keep him going so he can stay mad and write his poetry, which I think is really good. I dabbled in some poetry myself, but you know, I don't want to get into all of that myself, you know what I'm saying? But yeah. So Shelby had to sweep up the marshmallows. I don't know why she just swept it up instead of just picking it up with her hands, but she was sweeping up into the dustpan. And you know, she's like, I want to be off mop duty. So then Sid was like, well, what are you doing? The cash register is full, Jordan. And he's like, what? And she's like, what are you doing this for? It's full of 20s and 5s. And he was like, oh my god, he's gonna go count this in front of the ladies. He made all of that money. And then Sid was in charge. Shelby was like, look, I can do something. She's like, well, can you take out the trash for me? And it's like, wow, the day has really flipped the script. She's like, look, is taking the trash out too much for you? She's like, I didn't see the way it going like this. So Sid was like, oh, you thought I was going to be nothing. You thought I was going to be stupid. Oh, you thought I was going to be stupid, Shelby, huh? So then she was like, okay, I can take out the trash. So she was going to take out the trash, and it was freaking heavy. It flipped her all the way over, which was not good. It wasn't good. So Shelby was covered in bananas. So then the same lady that came earlier, she was like, oh, hi, do you work at, you know, the place over there? She's like, look, my friend got me on garbage duty. She's like, and I just fell into a dumpster, and that was the lowest point in my day. So, I don't think I'm doing too well. So she's like, well, what if you want to work for us? So Shelby was like, I think I'm a 2 weeks notice, and maybe I can throw in a little vacay. Can I see you in like a year? So then she's like, come with me. So then she came with her. I'm like, wow, she's a female detective. She's like, oh my god, this is so cool. I love female detectives. They're so empowering, and you know, they they boss these men around, like boss them around. And I was like, that's just so nice how they still keep up their jokes, you know what I'm saying, keeping the feminism alive. Like, yes, I like how they do that for the girls. But yeah, so she's like, look, I knew he was a criminal because, you know, Jordan, he's a criminal. He's been robbing malls and all this and that, going around his cart robbing malls. So she's like, look, he made me mop a criminal amount, and that's how I knew he was criminal. So yeah, he been robbing stores and malls. He's using FUDGTASTIC as a cover, which I mean, he's making a lot of money. So I don't even know why he would be robbing malls, but yeah. So Jordan he can't get tipped off, so he needs Shelby to wear an agent. So Shelby's like, I'm undercover. Can I have a badge? And he's like, no. She's like, that's right, because I'm undercover, so I can't have a badge. So the lady was like, no, you just can't have a badge because you just can't have a badge. Okay. So yeah. So she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna be wearing a wire. Sid can't incriminate herself, so she won't get in trouble. So she's like, look, when I bust him, I'll be like, tell it to the Fudge. So then Leia's like, please, please, please don't do that. Do not go say tell it to the Fudge. Please don't say that. Please don't say that. Anyway, Barry went and Nana was to the poetry reading, but Barry was like performing it. It's gonna be really bad. He might feel like an idiot. He might sound like an idiot. He was just really scared. So he's like, are you an idiot for sharing your feelings? Really? Really? Go save your grade before we end up in different colleges. That's what Nala said. And Mary's like, we wasn't going to the same college anyway. So he's like, not if you don't fix your grade, Barry. I'm like, okay. But yeah, so he went up there. He did his whole thing. It was amazing. He was meowing. It was like a big old, it was big and emotional. It was like everything that happened that day. He had a whole poem. Then at the end, everybody was like, and everybody, you know when somebody claps like this, then the clap just like builds, builds, and builds, and builds. That's how he was on one snap, because when you get done with poetry, you like, you snap it all. You do all that snap. You know what I'm saying? You snap. So yeah, that's what happened. So he was like, look, this and then that poem was about my helium. It sure wasn't about my best friend who helped me through this whole situation, because if it was, we both be crying. So it was both crying. It was so sad, but it was so cute at the same time. So yeah. Sid was back at the thing, so she's like, forget Jordan. What happened to you, Shelby? And Shelby was like, I wasn't doing nothing, but you know, Shelby was really doing something, but you know, she's being Shelby, you know, trying to be inconspicuous. So she's like, look, I'm in charge. I'm on this whole operation. And Shelby's like, no, she hasn't. No, she hasn't. She was trying to make it seem like, you know, Sid wasn't doing it, but it sounded like Sid was doing something wrong. So then the guy was like, oh, well, the dark chocolate's not the only thing that's here that's bitter. He's talking about Shelby. So she was basically trying to get her to say something, you know, trying to get him to say something incriminating. But yeah, so then she's like, we're supposed to be a team. And Shelby's like, look, I wasn't good at it, and that's okay, but I'm really happy for you. So Jordan wanted to hit other moms, and Shelby's like, no. So she's like, look, a boss lady cop approached me and was like, Jordan's evil. So he's like, what? It's like, I'm wearing this wire. And she ended up dropping the wire in the chocolate. She tried to get it out with the stick, but she's like, nope, never, I'm going in. So then Jordan was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? This isn't for, you know, this isn't for like your hands and all this and that. You can't put your hands in the chocolate. So she's like, look, you robbed them all. Tell him you did. So then she like tried to put in his face. So then he went. It took all the freaking shoes he robbed from out of the top cabinet of his little kiosk and walked away. And Sid was like, what the heck is that? And he was like, I gotta go, I gotta leave. So then Sid was like, okay, well, I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying? She's like, I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying? Then the lady came and she's like, we picking up static. So then Shelby showed her, she's like, that'll explain it. So Sid was like, look, we're gonna jump back, we're gonna fix this right. So they did it, they jumped back. Sid was like, yeah, this is Sid Ripley and I'm not confirming that I'm his partner in crime. So he was like, look, I don't know where this came from. They freaking got him. He was like, what? I got your shoes and all this and that. So Shelby was like, look, tell it to the Fudge. She was like, I specifically said, do not go and do that. Do not go and say that. But you still said it anyway. I don't know what's wrong with you. But yeah. So that was the end. They went and told Nardo about it. And I was like, did he laugh? And she's like, no, Nardo. He didn't laugh because he was getting hauled away to jail. He was being arrested. So he was like, oh, okay. So Barry was trying to watch his soap opera, and Sid was like, look, I'm good at working. But she's like, I just worked a full day. I don't want to work anymore. I need a year off. Barry was trying to watch his soap opera, and basically he was like, Steve's about to tell Carl he's the same person. And they kept talking through it, so he just started yelling. He's like, I'm so infuriated. I'm so angry. I could write a poem. And then he just left out. I know how he feels trying to watch TV, and somebody's talking, like, okay, I'm trying to watch TV. Why are you talking? And we used to watch soap opera all the time. I always mention this every single meal probably. I used to always mention it, but like we mentioned it before, like if you've been a long time subscriber and y'all watch like every single one of our videos, then we used to mention it like, oh my god, like General Hospital, Well Life to Live, All My Children. We used to watch this all the time. It would always be like, oh my god, that we thought that person was dead, but then he come back alive twice. Really, I don't even know what kind of technology they have in soap operas. But yeah, guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Don't forget to check out other videos. Don't forget to check out Best Friends Than Ever. And don't forget to go watch and go down in the description below and go click on our links and stuff like that. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.